Indiana Jones. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute, the podcast where we get to the glowing heart of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete Bummert.
I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm Jerry Porter.
And joining us once again, fresh off of the Pork Chop Express, are our old friends Brett Stillo and Josh Horowitz. Welcome back, guys.
Yay!
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. By the way, Pete, I hope you don't mind we parked the truck on your front lawn.
That's okay, because my front lawn is like 2 feet wide. So I'd like to see that, actually.
Yeah, your neighbors seem cool with it, too.
Today we were talking about minute 69, which begins with Indy standing once again on the big stage, just like his friend Mola Ram, and ends with the distant sound of a child screaming.
We talked about the whole Kali statue minutes and minutes ago, and the skulls and everything, and how they're entire, like, she has like a skirt of arms.
Yeah,
but I don't think you see them as well as you do here, and it's really gross. It's just a bunch of arms hanging down.
Yeah,
it's really gross.
I actually saw this, and I had a note that I dig the skeleton necklace. It's an upgrade from the necklace of fingers from before, but
Yeah.
I think that if there were severed hands, that would have been more disturbing. But you say they're arms, so that's good.
Yeah.
They were thinking.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
but it's funny because that's one of those things that
That's foul.
even in Hindu religion, where Kali's like the good lady, they have the statues look a lot like this statue. Like, this is actually pretty authentic. And the severed arms, though they look gross and creepy, actually represent the karma of blessed souls.
Huh.
So they're actually like happy severed arms.
Haven't these people heard of flowers?
Yeah, in the Temple of Doom, they're real arms.
Right.
Like they're real severed arms.
It represents an arm.
I wonder if anybody was really upset by that. They'd be up in arms.
Well, now that I'm looking at them and I'm going, are they all left arms?
Yeah, they were left there.
Oh, it's like the leftorium.
They're all left over arms.
Like well, I can't tell. It looks like there's a left arm there. So I wonder, like, on the one side of the skirt, maybe it's left arms, and then on the other side of the skirt,
No, I see some right arms. I see both.
Okay.
Oh, do you?
But
All
a
right.
lot of them look kind of like the old. I know people hate it when we talk about the toys, but the old vintage Star Wars action figures, like they would kind of have the thumb on one side and the hand curved around the other.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
doing that like they're about to hold a plastic weapon.
Yeah. Stick a blaster in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Well, you know what? It might actually also, encourage teamwork in the Temple of Doom, because if one guy gets his left arm cut off and the other guy gets his right arm cut off,
Yeah. It's a three-legged race sort of thing.
yeah, it would bring people together.
I tell you, there's some crazy initiation rites in this frat.
Yeah. Why does
Exactly.
anybody try to get into this club? It's ridiculous.
Well, now I got to bring a right arm and a left arm?
You're killing me.
Since we're on the subject of the sculptures, this scene you get a really good glimpse of the skull.
Mm-hmm.
And, boy, he's a goofy-looking guy to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He looks like someone just
Yeah.
punched his face in.
Yeah. He looks like he's like a Saturday morning cartoon Scooby-Doo skull.
Kind of reminds me of something out of the Goonies, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
kind of Goonies.
I expect when Indy walks up to him, he's going to start, cackling like the beginning of Wipeout.
We'll be right back after these commercials, kids.
Yeah, don't cats. Or,
Is that like the first thing that, with when they go around and they take like the collection or tithing? You wonder, is that the first thing that they're going to replace and upgrade? That goofy ass skull. You know? And you can hear like the Sunday, they'll be all like, now, as you know, we're working on upgrading this skull.
Yeah, we're replacing the human skins on the drums and the skull.
Yeah, but they can also point to the brand new, beautiful coiled snake on top.
Yes.
Yeah, why is that so
Yeah.
beautiful?
Well, I think they got some good collections in the last few weeks, and they were
Yeah, they got
able
a
to,
donation from some wealthy parishioner. Yeah.
Maybe they had like a really, really, really stupid looking snake before that one.
Oh yeah, it was like all falling apart and looked smashed in. But it's a good thing to have there, because in the Hindu religion, there is a snake god called Naga, who's a king cobra, and it's a snake that can take a human form, but they always are protecting treasure, like they're guardians of treasure.
Oh.
So it's fitting that he's there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's interesting that the one thing Indy hates and is scared of is something that's a guardian of treasure, which makes sense.
Yeah.
That's actually really good. That makes a lot of sense. It's not even a fear thing. It's just a hatred thing. They're in his way.
The visceral, yeah. But we get Indy stops and reaches in to grab a stone, and the music really crescendos here, and it sounds very, very similar to the Ark theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like almost a reprise of the Ark theme, and he reaches in with the same motion that he does when he reaches for the Chachapoyan idol.
Now,
Yeah.
is the music there? Is that the Shiva Tabernacle Choir?
That's an excellent question. Is it like what is actually happening live, and what is actually what is actually the soundtrack to the movie? Because it does sort of blur a little bit back and forth. With they have like sort of a chorale theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. My note here is that the music is going nuts trying to get me to care about these stones. The music is killing itself, like it's sweeping, and it's trying to get all Ark of the Covenant like, and I'm like, they're rocks. I don't know, they glow.
And they look like they're made of plastic.
Yeah, they're like, it's like it's in a sharper image or something, or like a Spencer Gifts, and like, oh my gosh, look what I found.
We talked about last minute about how, and just a few seconds ago, about this brings up or calls to mind the Chachapoyan Temple, and I'm thinking, okay, so. Back then in Raiders, we had Satipo, like, rubbing his fingers together greedily, like, right there. And then here we have Willie mouthing, be careful.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just an interesting comparison because, they're both, in both movies, they're in these active temples, and Indy's in danger, and there's this stealth approach. But for some reason, it's also very different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But is that a be careful, don't hurt yourself, or a be careful, don't hurt the stones?
Yeah, my
Like, don't
diamonds
drop
are in
them.
there.
The latter.
Probably.
Because they're diamonds. I mean, now he has the diamonds in his hand, right? So Willie cares all of a sudden.
And his face glows exactly like it does when he's standing in front of that fertility idol in Raiders.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, is this the moment where his gold lust is truly born? Like, he looks like he's born again right here. Like, he's just illuminated, like, transcendent.
Yeah, I mean, this whole part really does feel like, the whole grabbing of the idol in Raiders. The difference here is, though, that unlike in that film, you really don't get a sense of the danger of what's going to happen here. I think that it would have been a lot more interesting if there was some element of danger. And then, for instance, if there was a timing element to grabbing the stones. Maybe they glow on and off in a pattern video game style, and he has to grab it at the right time, otherwise a trap is sprung, that sort of thing.
Right. And there's also just a lack of of import. There's like a lot. It's just like he's just grabbing these rocks that I don't know what they are. Like, I don't know what the importance is of them. I know some people think that they dried up some wells when they disappeared and stuff, and it's just not the same as like finding the Ark or finding this idol like at the beginning of Raiders. It's just not the same.
And it's true, we only really find out what they're capable of doing later. So at this point, the stakes haven't even been set. Like, we don't know why he's other than the fact they have a diamond in him, we don't really know.
Oh, we talked about that extensively a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Well, and this, I'm about to get very angry here, but I'll keep it cool.
I got the bleep button ready.
Is there a bell for anger?
It's the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah. There's one or two notes I have for this scene, and so Indy plucks the stone from the skull's right eye socket. That's the one that he takes, and you're like, okay, so first of all, how does he know that one belongs to the Mayapur village? You're like, why that one?
Wait, does
but then
that
you're
one?
like, all right, whatever.
I don't think that one does. I think it's the nose one that belongs to the Mayapur village.
Well, then we have a bigger problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but okay, this is what we were talking about. So go on the listener's crusade. Is Tommy right or am I right?
Well, no. Can I just say why I think that? Because
Yeah,
when the guys come
sure.
out and they present them, and it's like, that's the ceremonial thing where they put them in the thing. The guy in the middle has the one with the lines on it, and I think that he puts that one in the nose because he's in the middle.
I think you're right. So why the hell does he take the one in the right eye socket?
Well, he takes all of them, doesn't he? Or
No,
doesn't he?
wait a minute.
Okay.
This is what I'm getting at. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
At first, he just he literally walks away with the one stone, and that's here's what's weird. So he removes the one, he removes one of the three stones at first, okay, and all three stones dim when he takes the one away.
Oh, right.
And I would think that the two remaining stones that are still in close proximity to each other would continue to glow.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah. And then I thought, okay, I thought about this while I was walking to get some nachos. As we mentioned yesterday, the Temple of Doom is syncretic. And so they borrow from different religions. And I thought, well, maybe these stones have a teaspoon of Christianity in them. And didn't Jesus say that whenever 3 or more are gathered in my name, I glow?
Wow.
And I'm thinking maybe there's a minimum of 3 stones that have to, like, the stones only glow when there's 3 of them together. But I'm going to be damned if he gets one stone back to that Mayapur village and it starts glowing as one stone.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, but if enough kids believe in Santa Claus, then it'll start to glow. If they have the Christmas spirit, then it glows just fine by itself.
And then so here's what I don't get. He takes one stone and you're like, for what? Is he going to take one stone and return it to the village, and he's just going to let Molaram collect the other 4 stones and control the whole satrap?
Right.
Like, he's not going to get world domination. You need 5 stones to achieve world domination, right? Much like the video game. So if Indy takes one of them, and I get that he doesn't have a plan. That's
Yeah.
fine. He doesn't have a plan, whatever. And as you said, Brett, it's the last time we see him making it up. Well, there's one extra last time where he's making it up right here. He doesn't have a plan. But I'm thinking if Indy returns one stone to Mayapur, Mola Ram is going to walk right back up that unguarded, uninsured altar and waltz out with that stone again. And then we're going to have the cattle turn into dust and the smoldering is going to begin. And it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. But to be clear, he does finally take all 3 of them.
Right.
But they don't make a big deal out of it.
Why doesn't his bag glow after he puts all 3 in there?
God, these are good questions that I never considered before. That's true.
And here's another question. What if they do find the 5 stones? What would the brightness be if they were all together?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they kind of, like you said, they kind of blink in sequence and they do different colors and stuff. And,
It's like, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
They call down a mothership.
He ultimately takes all 3 stones.
yeah, but like as an afterthought.
Yeah, it's like, well, I guess now that I'm here, and by the way, I think we can all agree the kids are an afterthought, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, literally.
He doesn't realize anything about them until, the end of this minute.
Yeah.
Could you argue that this is truly Indy at his most avaricious? The gold lust that you see on his face. He has his fortune and glory. You even see him swallow hard when he finally realizes this.
And his
Yeah.
face is literally gold. Like, he's glowing gold.
Yeah, it does seem like getting the village's exact stone back is an absolute, secondary consideration. He's there for all 3 of those rocks, and I'll get one of them to those guys maybe.
The thing that we've been kind of going through, at the movie is we don't know what Indy is going to do if and when he gets the stone. And they kind of leave it a little bit blurry, like, is he going to keep the stone? Is he going to give it back to the village? Is he going to sell, is he going to put one stone in Marshall College Museum? Because they even say, spoilers, at the very end, like, oh, well, you could have kept it. And you're like, was that even on the table? That you could have kept it?
Wah, wah.
It's just strange. Yeah, it's just, and so I can't figure out, what's the conundrum here? What's the moral conundrum here, Indy?
Although this is another instance, if this is like the Chachapoyant idol, this is another instance of Indy would be keeping not a historical relic, but an active religious, ritualistic item that people use today in their worship. Like, I mean, this is literally just stealing.
Right. Yeah.
See, for me, this whole minute was conceived and orchestrated by a bad dungeon master.
Yeah.
We're all the right age. I think we've all rolled the dice here, I'm assuming.
Right.
And so I think we all know the scenario of the bad dungeon master. Somebody's kid brother who wants to be the dungeon master, doesn't know what he's doing, or who just, hey, go in that room. And there are these really cool +3 glowing rocks of protection, and it's just because there's no real payoff here. We all played Dungeons and Dragons partly because we wanted to fight the monsters.
Can I say something crazy about the snake statue that I'm just realizing? And this is really I'm starting to sound like I've never seen Temple of Doom before, but I honestly, like, months and months and months, I think while we were still doing Raiders, I saw online, I think on another Indiana Jones Facebook page, somebody posted like this image of like, Indy looking at the snake, which is, currently is our like banner image on the thing. So it's like a famous, and when the first time somebody posted that, I was like, wait, is that from an Indiana Jones movie? Like, I did not remember that image at all. I didn't remember like that snake or anything. And watching it right now, I'm like, oh my God, is that because I was watching this on like a TV for like as soon as it came out on video? Like, since it came out in the theater, I haven't seen it letterboxed, like in the proper, aspect ratio.
Whoa.
Is it possible that snake was cut out of the image and you just think he's sort of like tipping his hat to Kali or something? I don't know how to find out if that's true or not. Like, I can imagine that like Indy and the snake not fitting in that square frame, maybe.
But you
It's
know what?
really
I had
weird.
no idea. I mean, this is we use this picture on our listeners' crusade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when that got posted or you guys recommended that, I had no idea where that was from.
Oh, thank you. I thought I was nuts. Okay, good.
Yeah, no, you're
I think
not
you're
nuts.
both nuts, but yeah, you think they're nuts.
I was like, what scene is this?
Yeah. Yeah, the first time I saw it, I thought it was like, photoshopped or something. Like, oh, here's Indiana Jones in like a different place with a different snake that's like not in Raiders and not, in any of those other movies.
Conversely, when I was watching this minute, I thought to myself, well, where's the microphone? Something is missing.
Yeah. Why is that snake choking on a microphone?
Well, the one thing that's missing from this that I think would make it hilarious would be if there was a small little fedora that snake was wearing.
Oh, perfect.
Somebody's furiously photoshopping that right now.
Is this a real snake, or is this just a purely mechanical, someone built like a sculpture?
It looks like it's a sculpture.
I know there's a guy who could answer that question.
I bet
for
there
us.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, guys, you don't have to put a bag over my head every time you have a question. I promise I won't tell where you're recording from. Okay, this is John Brugan. I am sitting in a dark room with a single bare bulb hanging over my head, and I've been asked to deal with the question of the cobra in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Guys, it is not a real cobra, not even a mounted one. It's just a really well done statue that somebody carved and painted. It's a type of Indian cobra. It's the same kind of cobra that you can see me holding in my profile picture on the Indiana Jones Minute guest list. It's too big to be that kind of cobra, so the statue's too large. And so I know the first thing you do is jump to, could it be a king cobra? And it's not, for a couple of reasons. It looks different. King cobras aren't patterned that way. And king cobras actually have a fairly small hood compared to some of these other cobras for their size. So we have a 12-foot king cobra at work, which is a really intimidating animal. When it's hooded and standing there looking you in the eyes, there's still 6 foot of snake laying on the ground. But it doesn't have a really big hood like some of these other beautiful Indian cobras do. So the other problem with this statue is the fangs are all wrong. Cobras have relatively short fangs and they're not curved at all. And so those fangs look completely out of place when I first see it. But it's just a well-painted and well-sculpted statue. All right, hope that answers all the questions. See you next time. Jones?
But he does, like, Indy kind of tips his hat to him, like, you know, a little bit of panache, and turns away, and then the snake's head starts to turn.
Wait, are you kidding me?
What?
I've never seen this movie before. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I never
Are you guys
noticed
serious?
that.
About?
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
No, it's second 56 when Indy starts to walk away. The
Oh my
snake's head
God.
turns.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah, hang on a second.
Is this like a motion sensitive alarm, or and it makes you wonder if the sound you're hearing is a kid screaming?
Oh my
Or
God!
if it's the creaking of the snake turning his head.
Oh, you're right. It does move.
Wait, okay.
Oh my God! It
No, wait.
moves.
I'm seeing it moving. But can I just say, before we all freak out, is it possible the camera is just moving and like following Indy just slightly and making it look like the snake head is moving?
No,
No,
that's
it's
not
moving.
possible.
I didn't
the
think so
snake
either.
is moving.
That's crazy. You know what that reminds me of?
Huh.
Just real quick, it reminds me of the fact that the idol in the Chachapoyan temple that had like mechanical eyes that were supposed to move,
Oh yeah,
which is so stupid. I'm so glad you never saw that in the movie. But like that reminds me of this. So like, why is this thing moving? This is super weird.
but this is
I'm
exactly
scared.
like the idol scene that it's only moves after Indy kind of turns his attention away from it, and you think,
Gosh,
oh,
is
he's
it
home
like
free.
is that what they're doing? Is it like a little like Raiders of the Lost Ark gag?
I think this whole scene is a reference to that.
Oh
Like
my
the music
gosh.
is a tie-in.
I think the hat gesture is definitely a reference to the Adios Sapito.
Oh my
Can you
god!
do that same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
well, he
yeah,
does
yeah.
like when he trades the sandbag for the thing, he does the little thing with his hat.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! This
So
movie's
wait a minute.
Brilliant.
So now is everybody? Wait a minute. Is everybody alerted now that the Sankara stones have been pilfered?
Well, that's what I think. I think
Silent
this is-
alarm has been
Yeah,
tripped.
this is the silent alarm.
That's the
Maybe.
silent. I can't believe
Snake
that.
alarm.
That is crazy.
In Molaram's lounge, there's a snake on the wall with flashing eyes. Look, the snake alarm.
The snake phone is ringing.
The snake phone.
That's the craziest. So, but let me ask you. So, how would you set that alarm?
Well, you just like twist the head back.
Yeah, but those three guys just showed up and they placed the three stones in the eyes and the nose.
That's how you arm it.
Yeah, but I mean, what do they do when they? Yeah, maybe that's how you arm it, I guess. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe when they're glowing, it's activated.
This is the weirdest minute of the entire movie.
This is the weirdest minute, and so because Pete, I thought you were full of.
Yeah.
And I can't stop watching this. The snake alarm went off.
Yeah, I wish we'd been able to zoom in though, because I wonder if he's like when they're playing the music, like when the choir's singing. I wonder if he's like that fish you put on your wall that sings when you play the radio.
Yeah.
Billy Bass.
Billy Bass. Don't worry, be happy. That was what mine played. Well, I want that snake to kind of break the fourth wall and look into the camera and say, now he's really going to get it.
How's Indiana Jones gonna get out of this one, kids?
The way he turns his head, he's just about to mug for the camera.
Yeah.
Where he just says, "It's a living."
Oh my god! I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
But it's weird. If you look at the snake, though, I mean, now I'm looking at it a little closer. I mean, it doesn't look like a statue. It looks like a real snake that just isn't.
No,
moving.
yeah, it's very realistic. Like the scales, like yeah.
Oh man.
Since we keep referencing, I just looked it up. That snake was actually played by Alfred Molina.
Hey, we should have recognized
How
it.
good an actor he is.
My god. How many times have I seen that movie and I never noticed that? That's crazy.
But then after it triggers, does the lighting change? I mean, we get that devilish red light cast on Indy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked about, like, from a couple of minutes ago, throughout most of the rest of the movie, this movie becomes very red. And it is kind of like
Yeah.
red alarm warning lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Silent alarm.
Yeah. It's like we're in a Russian submarine.
Right.
Well, you know, it's interesting because it goes to show you different types of security that these temples have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Chachapoyan temple had anything but a silent alarm.
Yeah.
You know, And then, the Temple of Doom, it's like it's so subtle. I mean, I haven't noticed it for 34 years or whatever it is. And you wonder now I want to talk to Mola Ram and the architecture and be like, now why did you guys did you want to catch the perpetrator, in the act, and then you could have some special sacrifice for him, like some special sort of ceremony where you I don't know, you'd rip the lungs out of the guy who tried to steal the stones.
They need a new arm for Kali's skirt.
That'll take the breath out of him.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
There you go.
maybe they want to catch the guy alive, where the Chachapoyans didn't care if he was dead or alive.
Well, I have a question about the flames and the torches and the candles and stuff, because we learned later that there's electricity down here, and I'm wondering if these are eternal flames, are these gas jets, or is there someone come in and light these, and now someone's going to come in a couple of minutes and have to put these all out? Because they're burning like crazy, like they're just hissing and crackling, and
they're burning with evil.
Yeah,
they're unholy.
Geothermal.
I think they're. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think they're altar boys.
Yeah,
yeah.
They've got those long things with a little cup on the end that they put them out.
Exactly. I don't know when they do it, but I don't know what days the Temple of Doom is open.
Right. Well, they might have another service right after this one.
Yeah, is there another service coming up, or do they come in and there's a guy with a broom that comes in and sweeps up a little bit, and like the vacuum cleaner, or what happens?
Is it like one of the traditional, like the Wednesday night, Sunday night thing? Are there Vespers?
I feel like we just saw the Saturday matinee, but
yeah,
it could be. That's the popular one.
What time is it right now?
Oh, it's got to be like midnight, maybe 11:30,
it's like
midnight.
Middle of the night, yeah.
Yeah, because they left it was 10:18 or 10:23 right before the assassin got Indy.
That's right.
Oh, good point. Okay, so then they had to do the book. Okay, so this is like a midnight thing.
Yeah, it's probably the midnight. It's midnight mass.
Yeah, I would like to think that the heart got pulled out at midnight, at the stroke of midnight. So they probably timed it for that.
We would like to think that it's like one of those Easter Christmas things.
Yeah, it just seems like it should have happened right then.
Well, then that's kind of a nice mirror image to the balloon drop. Like right at 8:30 at Club Obi-Wan.
Oh, is time a theme in this?
Could be.
Yeah, could be.
Time is the real Temple of Doom, in which we all squander our lives.
Well, speaking of squandering our lives, does anybody have anything else for minute 69?
Oh, wait, this just in.
Oh.
Yes, from Professor Christy Porter. So Indy walks away with 1 stone. God, you're dumb.
Is that directed to me or to Indy?
No, that's just directed to Indy. And the best part about it, she's actually quoting my father. It's the sort of thing my father would say, actually. Just not to us so much, but just, to like, I don't know, the third base coach. God, you're dumb. The Little League third base coach.
Well, if people would like to hear more from you two guys, Josh and Brett, where might they do that?
We have a podcast. It is on the internet for eternity. We did a show called 5 Minutes of Trouble, all about John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China, a movie that has some interesting parallels to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Indeed. So you want to go right over to Big Trouble in Little China, 5 Minutes of Trouble, right after you listen to this. And we're on iTunes. And
we should also mention the other podcast as well.
Yes.
We're on another podcast that's called 12 Chimes, It's Midnight, which is an ode to the old-time radio dramas similar to Lights Out and Suspense.
Suspense and Inner Sanctum. Yeah, it's a horror macabre anthology, and as Josh said, it's definitely a tip of the hat to the shows of the 1930s and 40s, and so you can both hear us performing We are actors on that show. We
Yeah.
don't talk about a show. We are the show.
Weird. What?
Look for that one on Facebook. 12 Chimes, It's Midnight.
Yeah, they're great.
Awesome.
I love them, and they're very well produced. And yeah, maybe someone's going to start at 12 Chimes. It's Midnight Minute soon.
There'd only be 3 episodes. There are more episodes coming. I think we only have 3 or 4 up at this point. In fact, I'm writing one. Josh, I think you mentioned you're writing one. So
That's right.
we're also
nice.
Yeah.
we're also painting the sets, and we build our own microphones, and it's great. 12 Chimes. It's midnight.
Cool. Hoping to see a little bit of Ruby Keeler in there in yours, Josh. And Tom, tell the nice folks something about us. How's that?
How about this? How about you go to IndianaJonesMinute.com, and if you go to IndianaJonesMinute.com/store, you can go to our TeePublic store and make yourself cooler looking than all your friends by getting a cool Indiana Jones Minute shirt of various designs and awesomeness. And you could also visit us on Facebook at Indiana Jones Minute and the Listener's Crusade.
Yeah, definitely come check it out, and come right back and check us out tomorrow for minute 70 of the Indiana Jones Minute.
I'm a snake, kids. I've got the drop on Indiana Jones.